New Year's on December 31st, going into January 1st as the Gregorian calendar. Some people celebrate it more like the pagan, where on March 20th, the beginning of spring, marks the new year. The way that we're supposed to do it according to true sidereal is we're supposed to mark the heliacal rise of Sirius on the horizon after it has been absent for a while. And when it appears on the horizon again, the first new moon after that marks the new moon and the new year. And then there's 13 moons, 13 months, 28 days, all of that stuff. But we're going to talk about, according to true sidereal, Krystic astrology, the Krystic way, we're going to talk about how the energy of now, the energy of the new year, I have quite a bunch of stuff that I'm going to discuss during this live. Let's just put it that way. So this will also be my last live of 2025. I'm not going to be going live again until January 2nd, which is Friday. And then the following week, my lives will be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:44. So we're calling the 144. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So today, under a Sagittarius sun and an Aries moon, according to the living sky, that's where they are in the sky at this time, we gather in this pivotal gateway. The last few days of the year are rewiring the planet, and the cusp of New Year is encoded with this destiny vibe. The new moon on the 19th, it initiated this deep internal realignment. We had the new moon in Sagittarius. Then we went into solstice on the 21st, which expanded our light body to receive new codes. And today, on December 30th, we enter the sacred pause between the old and the new. So this is a Krystic orientation, a way to attune your field, not rush resolutions. So let this be a moment where you orient your soul, or orientate towards your soul, I should say, and not through pressure, right? So to ground in clarity, not to chase it. To become the flame, not chase the fire, okay? Because that's what all that outside stuff is doing for us, right? It's like us chasing fire out there, not learning or remembering the fact that we are the flame. So we should be seeking the flame from within, not going and chasing everything else that as a fire. It's just one way to burn out. So I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Hello. Say hello. Please tap the screen. I appreciate you. Unfortunately, social media loves the likes. It indicates to them that you like me. When you tap on the screen, that's what it says. You like the live. And I mean, so if you do, please tap on the screen. So this morning, Mercury transited into Sagittarius. So that marks a pretty significant alignment right now, because we have the sun in Sagittarius and we also have Mercury, Venus, and Mars. So that's a lot of Sagittarius energy. And then the moon's in Aries. So there's just a ton of fire today. So this is really big energy, right? We also have Jupiter in Gemini, which is opening that mental gate for insight. And we have Saturn in Aquarius, which is fortifying the crystalline structure. And we have Pluto in the Pluto in Capricorn, reminding us that legacy is built in that quiet work of embodiment. So what does this mean? And we're not here to jump into 2026. We're here to remember what we came here to embody and embody it, to live as we are, to live the truth. Knowing the truth is only knowledge. It's not lived. It's not real truth until it's enacted, right? And I'll talk more about that though. So It's not about performance or productivity. It's about alignment. It is about weaving your fire into form. So who are you at your core? What are you, what is your soul? What is it drawing you towards? What lights you up inside? So 2025 was a year of unraveling and remembering. There was so many collapses of identities, so many things were revealed collectively. We outgrew things, people shifted locations, burned old contracts, rewired nervous systems so that we could hold more light. And hopefully you're doing all of that in alignment with you, right? And 2026 is not going to give you a blueprint. It will demand that you become the one who writes it. So this is about stepping into action and walking as that flame. The theme is flame to form. So not ideas, not dreams, not concepts. Embodiment, structure, service, and sovereignty. Those are our keys for 2026. This next year is going to reward clarity and devotion. And we've been talking about that, discipline is devotion to your highest frequency or your highest form, your highest timeline, however you want to say it. This year coming up, it's going to reveal everything that is not truly you and collapse it. And it will amplify everything that is truly you and call you towards that. So some questions to ask yourself at the end of this year is, where am I still negotiating with misalignment, right? And you know where you're not in alignment. That's like the person that's constantly saying, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to go on a diet, or I'm going to start exercising, I'm going to start exercising, I'm going to start exercising, or whatever it is, right? I'm going to reduce my time on social media. I'm going to leave this job and get another one. I'm going to leave this relationship. I'm going to whatever it is. Those I'm going to's are your misalignments, because you should be either doing them or addressing why you think that you should be doing them, so that they're no longer that tape that's running in your mind, because that's exhausting. So you need to also ask yourself, what part of me is afraid of being fully seen? So are you afraid to speak on your spirituality? Are you afraid to speak in terms that are different from what society's talking about, right? Are you looking at the fact that maybe there's like trolls in your midst and there. Yeah. So the other thing is what structure would hold my soul? So these are the questions that you want to ask yourself. What part of me is afraid of being fully seen? Where am I still negotiating with misalignment? And what structure would hold my soul? And that structure is the discipline, that devotion, right? So what is that? Is it, I've been in this embodiment phase for a while, and that means assessing the way that I'm doing things, so that I'm honoring who I am and what I want to be, right? So if you want to be healthy, there's certain things that you have to do. I'm sorry, but you cannot go to McDonald's and eat McDonald's all the time and be healthy. You just can't. And especially if you live in the US, it's just not going to happen. So if that's something that you're doing, that's a misalignment, and that's something that you have to stop negotiating with and just align yourself back with it. So we don't have to have this all figured out before January 1st. Right now, we get the gift of pause, of reorientation, of sacred slowing. We're not meant to be out partying at this time of year. The winter time is more introspective, reflective. You're refining, you planning, you're huddling up near the hearth. Like, it's not meant to be super active, busy stuff. Like, we're not meant to be out partying all the time at this time of year. So in Anshara'El, we do not chase Gregorian deadlines. We walk with celestial truths. So right now, the sun is still in Sagittarius, and we are still receiving vision because of that. In mainstream astrology, they would have it saying that the sun is in Capricorn, but it doesn't go into Capricorn until January 19th at 7:17 p.m. my time. So whatever time zone you're in, it would be in relation to that. But or it would be whatever that converted to. So that's a far cry from what they're saying right now. They're calling it Capricorn season, but even though the sun isn't in Capricorn, and that's why I don't align with traditional, and why I teach true sidereal, because I want to work with the living is at this time. So right now we're in Sagittarius season. The moon entered Taurus just after midnight. And so we get this earth-based integration that's happening. So the final days of this year, which is today and tomorrow, is a time to anchor the lessons of 2025. There is a time for you to rest in the space, like in that void between cycles. And it's a chance for you to listen for the truth beneath the noise. Your light does not need to be loud to be real. And your mission, it does not need to be performed to be sacred. Your next steps just need to be seen, or sorry, do not need to be seen to be true, right? You just have to be living your truth. It's not about performance. It's not about that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're expecting for the year, right? So we have, when we're looking at January 2026 and on, right? So we want to look at the energy in 2026, okay? And what we're looking at in the beginning, we're still in Sagittarius sun until the 19th of January, like I said. So the fire's not gone, but we're in that, it's contained. We're in that final arc of Sagittarius. And this is all about refinement at this point. So the moon grounds itself in Taurus just after midnight, and we meet a threshold, not of noise, but of deep inner clarity. This is that quiet before ignition. It's the inhale before the collective exhale. The year did not end with fireworks. It ended with truth. Hi, Salasia. And the new year does not begin with a bang. We're not in that energy. It begins with a vow. So this is the moment where the noise of the world fades and Source asks a real question. I'm going to have a set schedule in next week. I'm going to start Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:44 Mountain Time, so 3:44 your time. I'll be going live Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays to talk about the sky, and so Krystic astrology, true sidereal, all of that, what we're doing with the energies, living in harmony with the celestial alignments. And then on the Thursday, I will be doing it on other content and stuff. So we'll do one celestial check-in a week. Yeah, when you can, obviously. Okay, so Source is asking a real question. And so this 2026, when we're reading the energy or the real tone of 2026 and reading the field, this year is not about rushing. It begins with no planets in Aries, Leo, or Ophiuchus. All the fire is filtered through Sagittarius, so it's philosophical, observational, and refining fire energy. So this isn't that rushing, that big bang energy, that showman energy. It's not. It's refined. So this means that our words matter more than ever because we have Mercury in Sagittarius, that our love must be soul aligned, not superficial, because Venus is in Sagittarius, and our action must be sacred because Mars is in Sagittarius. So the field is asking for aligned speech, sacred action, and soul vibrational integrity. And above all, patience with the process. We begin in the earth sign, Taurus moon, and Uranus in Taurus. So we build slowly, we choose wisely, and we are being entrained to be keepers of wisdom, not repeaters of the noise. How many times do you share something on Facebook without vetting that it's real, or on other social media? Right? How many times do you pop it, or like the you share the information of stuff that you don't know if it's really true. It just aligns with maybe your perspective or your belief system. And we do that too often, and all we're doing is creating more noise. So we have to think about what we're doing in that sense. And I say that from a space of I need to hear it myself. So most times my lives are for me just as much as they are for you, because I need to hear half the stuff I say all over again. I write it down, read it out, and hear it back again. It's the best way to have it. So I went through the living sky with every single planet. This is the prep work that I did for this. So I took the sky live and I picked every single planet. I ran it through the system, charting every single transition for all of the signs for 2026. So I have my calendar now, and that's awesome. The only ones I didn't track was the sun and the moon, but I mean, the sun I could have tracked. It's very easy. It transitions approximately every month. The moon, that's every 2 days-ish. So that would have been a lot in 365 days to track the moon, right? But that's something that we should be looking at a little more consistently anyway. So where did I go? I lost my thought. So Mercury's journey. We're going to talk about Mercury. So remember, Mercury is your thoughts and your communication. Okay, so that's what it's governing your language, it's governing technology, those types of spaces. So Mercury's journey in 2026, it actually goes through 13 signs. This is a full wheel, retrograde in Aquarius. So there's a mind reset that happens. So this is a year to reclaim clear thought, and communication will separate. That sounded so weird. Real from false, both within and around us. Now, Venus in 2026 does an entire journey as well, which is rare, ending in Libra. So the feminine energy will undergo a full refinement process. That's powerful energy. And so the sacred feminine is being polished, returned, and crowned. By December, love will not look the same. Mars's path. So Mars moves from fire to earth to air to water. So it goes through all 4 of the elements. And so what it's going to teach us through the year is that the masculine within us must learn every elemental language. Okay. Jupiter travels from Gemini to Cancer to Leo. So mind to emotion to creative leadership. So you will not think your way to abundance. You must feel your way into embodied presence. Now remember, embodied presence is that in alignment and taking action from that aligned space. Saturn leaves Aquarius and it goes into Pisces, and then it goes into Cetus. And this is structure becomes soul-based. The great teacher is not interested in performance. So this is going to be a year where you will be asked to embody your spiritual contracts, your spiritual contracts. So what the field is expecting. The field is expecting not more speed, not more sales, not more followers, not more effort. What the field is going to expect in 2026 is integrity, clarity, embodied resonance, sovereign alignment, and maturity of choice. So the sacred flame of 2026 is not a firework. It's a soul torch. It will light your path if you are willing to walk truthfully. And you will not be allowed to outrun yourself anymore. This year is going to ask for you to get real. So the year is going to begin with this like you're not crossing a date, you're crossing a frequency. The true new year will not begin until your field says yes. So let the fireworks fade, let the ego sleep, let the sacred vow rise. So the questions that you have to ask yourself are, for the new year, how do I want to feel in this year? What will I no longer pretend to be? And what will I let go of so I can carry the truth more gently? The moon is entering Taurus just after midnight. So you want to ground your fire and let this year begin. And not when the world says so, but when your oversoul confirms it has. Right? It doesn't have to be the Gregorian New Year. You can choose to start the new year on March 20th, if that's what aligns with your soul. You can choose to wait for the heliacal rise of Sirius on the horizon after its long absence and choose that as your new year, the new moon that follows that, which would be what they would have done in Egyptian times and in the Egyptian calendar. You could follow the Gregorian calendar and celebrate New Year's on the 1st. Or it could just settle into your bones somewhere around the 10th or whatever, right? Just let it be what it is for you. Okay. So before we talk about the year ahead again, because I want to go over it a little bit more, I just want you guys to just settle in a little bit. Remember, we always talk about embodiment here. So I want you to be present. I want you to just pause for a minute. Okay. And you can pause. You can just let your body arrive, let your breath settle. Right? Just let go of any need to resolve or improve. Let it soften at least. Right? Today is not about preparing for 2026. It's about closing 2025. So for many people, they will describe 2025 as intense, chaotic, or transformational. And those words are not wrong, but they are incomplete. 2025 was a year of exposure. False structures became visible, performative spirituality thinned, and illusions that once felt comfortable could no longer be sustained. For many, this felt like a loss. In truth, it was clarification. Completion is an act of integrity. So in Krystic teachings, completion is sacred. Beginnings, endings, it's all sacred. We do not rush past what the past has taught us, right? We don't rush past what we've been taught. We don't rush past what has taught us. Sure. We do not decorate what has collapsed. We acknowledge what is finished. And completion restores energy to the nervous system because you're closing it off. You're not holding that energetic door open or keeping energetic ties attached to things. So unfinished years leak power. And tonight we conceal what has ended. So take a breath and put your hand on your chest and take a breath. And just ask yourself gently, what am I done carrying for this year? And whatever rises, that's your answer. Just let it rise on its own. And take another breath if you want. What truth became unavoidable in 2025? It's a good question to ask yourself. The last question, what structures, roles, or identities no longer fit? You're not negotiating with the answer. Negotiation would be your ego. because truth does not argue, it just reveals. So many of us are feeling tired right now, and exhaustion at year's end is not a failure. It's often the body releasing vigilance. 2025 required discernment. There was a lot of boundary recognition that everybody went through. A lot of us went through energetic maturity. Many learned to say no. Many stepped away from false belonging, not connecting to those people that weren't in alignment anymore. And many stopped explaining themselves, because all of that stuff takes energy. So honor that. Honor releasing those things that were just draining your energy. So we want to be closing that door with clarity and sealing the year so that we're not looshing or, draining ourselves with that energy still, tying us to that year. And we're just closing it with clarity. We don't need to resolve everything tonight. We just need to recognize what we're not taking with us. So it's just about bringing awareness to it, and that's it. So you're not taking old justifications. You're not taking unfinished obligations that were never yours. You're not taking spiritual roles that require self-erasure. You're not taking futures that are built on pressure rather than truth. I'm just going to let those stay in 2025, right? And 2026 is not asking for urgency. As I explained earlier, we have all the fires in Sagittarius. It's not in Aries, it's not in Leo, and it's not in Ophiuchus, which is a hybrid fire-water sign because it carries traits of both Scorpio and Sagittarius. Those are more movement-based or more explosive type fires or bigger fires. Sagittarius is about that refinement. It's that philosophical, it's the teaching, it's that type of energy. So 2026 is not asking for urgency. It's asking for structure, consistency, and integrity lived daily. Okay. That's important. Your life is being built on the actions that you're doing on a consistent basis. It's not the one-off. The person that has an eclair once a year isn't the person that's having a problem. Because that's not their consistent action. Consistently, if they're eating very, very, very healthy, and that eclair means nothing. But if you're eating an eclair every day, that's a different thing. That's an entirely different thing. That's probably not getting you where you want to be, or it's not making you healthy. So it's that integrally lived daily. It's not, like I said, it's not those things that you do once in a blue moon. It's the things that you do consistently that build the life that you end up living. So none of that can be done, though, until this year is closed. So tonight we're going to stand still, not in avoidance, but in respect. So if these teachings, I'm going to teach you a little bit more here in a minute, but if these teachings resonate, you're invited to join us up. And it's been the School of Light, although it is also Anshara'El Pathway of Ascension, but it is the School of Light. There's different entry points. You can join me in the Temple of Light, which is free, or you can go into deeper initiatory pathways. I have tier membership group with the Ascension Gateway, Guardian Pathway, and Krystic Mastery Circle, where as you advance through the tiers, you keep everything that's in the lower memberships. You will always be guided to what matches your readiness. I'm not going to push you toward what you are not prepared to hold. I'm not here to be, pushy into getting you to, I just want you to buy my highest package. That's not me. That's not me. I want it to be in alignment with you because that's what I'm teaching is alignment. So may 2025 be complete without resentment. Okay, we want to let go of any of that resentment. May the truth be honored without dramatization. Just be real. Accept your portion. Recognize the other portions that are there, and let go. Close the chapter. Allow this to be an opportunity to just close the door so that you can move into 2026 lighter, clearer, and more intact. Okay. Today's sky is clearing that very clear message. It's asking you to orient. with the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars all in Sagittarius and the Moon in Aries, we are in forward moving fire energy. But this is not reckless fire, this is directional fire. So this is the time between December 30th and January 2nd is often misunderstood. People rush to decide who they will be, what they will build, what they will commit to, another New Year's resolution, signing up for another New Year's resolution, right? And how many of those New Year's resolutions actually are committed to. But the body hasn't caught up. And so today is not about decisions, it's about direction. Okay. You don't need a plan yet. You just need clarity. Right? If you're not clear, then how do you make a plan? Right? If you're not in alignment, how do you go in the right direction? Like you kind of need both of those things. So Sagittarius energy and the Krystic way. In the Krystic way, Sagittarius is not optimism. It is truth orientation. It asks, what do I stand for now? What belief actually governs my choices? What direction feels honest, not impressive, and what path aligns with my integrity? Sagittarius strips away false ambition and reveals true devotion. This is why the energy is so powerful right now. The moon in Aries, it brings impulse and courage. Okay, so used unconsciously, it pushes you to act too fast. But when you use the Aries energy consciously, it helps you name what wants to move. So today, the practice is not action, it's recognition. You're trying to name these things. So you can say, notice what excites you without committing to it yet. You can notice what drains you without fixing it yet. And you can notice what wants to begin without starting it yet. Okay, we're just noticing and we're closing off 2025 and we're noticing things, preparing for the new year. So the new year is not a doorway, it is a runway. It is, you do not leap, you accelerate, and that acceleration requires alignment. And alignment requires nervous system readiness, energetic coherence, honest self-assessment, and the release of false timelines. And that's embodiment work. So this is exactly why I teach embodiment and the Krystic way, because real transformation does not happen on January 1st. It happens when the truth is lived consistently. So through the membership spaces and pathways like Bridge to Light, which begins on January 9th, the work is about integrating insight into daily life, stabilizing truth in the body, and learning how to move forward without self-betrayal. Because this season is not about speed, it's about accuracy. All right, so we got a live practice. One hand on your heart, and the other one on your solar plexus, so just above your navel. You're going to take a nice breath in through the nose, down into your tummy, and then release it through the mouth, nice and slow. Now ask yourself, what direction feels honest for you now? Ask yourself, what am I no longer willing to carry into the new year? And what truth am I ready to live, not just name? Now take a breath. Now say out loud, I give myself permission to move slowly and truthfully. I choose direction over pressure. Okay. So what came up for you besides someone that doesn't understand what's being done here, so can't ask a question in an appropriate way and just say you don't understand, or what are you doing? Can you explain what you're doing? I'd like to know what you're doing. But anyway, we just block people. We don't have to take any time for that. So if you feel drawn to work with this type of energy more intentionally, there are a few ways that you can walk with me. So you can explore the membership spaces, which have ongoing embodiment support. They start with the Temple of Light, which is entirely free, and then 11 per month, 22 per month, and 44 per month, all prices Canadian. And I'm very honest about the prices and upfront with that, because there's no point in being anything otherwise. So when you're in the top tier, though, you keep the lower two tiers of that group. So you would essentially, you're keeping everything below. So that 44 is for all three groups, and you could have the free one for free. So you could technically for 44 have 4 groups that have deepening levels of embodiment that they're walking you through. The 2 top tiers, Guardian Pathway and Krystic Mastery Circle, those 2 groups, each one has a live education each month. In January, I also open these up to the public. So if you don't want to be in a group, but you want to do the education that I'm offering, or the activation, or whatever it is that I'm putting on for the month, they typically run at $22.22, which is the cost of the Guardian membership. But the one in January for the Krystic Mastery Circle will be $44.44 because it's a 3-day experience. And I think, where did I have it here? I have to look for my document. Give me 1 second. I do this every time. You think I would get better at it? Hi, guys. I'm sorry, I was terrible not paying attention to your comments. I apologize. I'm glad that you two are sparring in soccer and having fun. Okay, is it this one that I had? No. Sorry, I thought I had it open, but I might not. Okay, so ideal window, I found it. So we are going to do the 3-day class, which is a Krystic Wealth Activation Series. So that 3-day class will be Monday, January 13th, Tuesday, January 14th, and Wednesday, January 15th. So it'll be those 3 days. It will culminate at the moment when Saturn enters into Pisces, which is when the spiritual wealth container opens. So it's perfect timing. So it'll be the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Day 1 is the light of true wealth. Day 2 is the solar gate of overflow. And day 3 is the new law of receiving. So if you're interested in that, check out my website. And you can either send me a message, or you can send me an email or message me on my site, or you can sign up for a free clarity call and get your questions answered. I also have something really cool to show. I have 2 more books published on the 21st of December. So let me grab these guys and show for a minute. So we have, I'm going to put them in order. I had them organized in a different way. But just give me 1 second. Okay, so we have book 6 of the Lumina Soul series. So we're going to do it this way. All right. So book 1 was the Golden Sunbeam. And when I made these books, I made them specifically so that when you were reading them, the picture opened up into a full image for children looking away. And the images are on each page on the opposite of the text. So every page has a picture. Then we went into Radiant Hearts. So again, the image in the center, beautiful images throughout. Every chapter has an activity at the end of it to engage children or whoever's reading them. I do have adults that have them. Then there was book 3, Celestial Echoes. Book 4 was Radiant Hearts. Starlight Whispers. Starlight Whispers was book 2. Celestial Echoes, then Radiant Hearts, then Cosmic Reflections, and then the last one and the most recent one that just came out on the 21st of December is Infinite Wonders. The Universe Has No End. Here's the image when it's out in its full glory, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. I'll read a little bit of it. So, have you ever wondered where the universe stops? The truth is, it doesn't. It goes on forever, just like your dreams, your ideas, and the magic inside you. There is no limit to what you can imagine, to what you can create, or to the wonders you can discover. Let's take a journey into the infinite wonders of the universe and of you. And so this is the image on the opposite page. So you could hold the book like this and see. So chapter 1, your imagination is a universe. When you close your eyes and imagine, you are creating new worlds. Your imagination is like a vast galaxy filled with endless stars, dreams, and ideas waiting to be explored. Activity. Close your eyes and imagine a brand new world. What does it look like? What colors fill the sky? What kind of magic exists there? So that's how each chapter is written. And all of the books follow the same pattern, that there's the chapter and an activity at the end of the pattern. So there are 6 books in the series at this time. I did write 22 when I wrote the series. And I'm publishing them at 4 per year at this time. Oops. Put them in the wrong order. Hang on. Okay, there we go. So that one came out on the 21st. And then as well, I have the Unlikely Heroine Chronicles. And they started with a double pack of the 2 that got released at the same time were Tiana, the Goblin Slayer, sort of, and Parisa befriends the Pixies. And then in the summertime, Soraya comes out and this one was Teaches a Wolf to Meditate. And then in the fall, Mariah comes out, and she was, it was Mariah and the Phoenix and the Pegasus, I was reading my new book. My new book was in my head. The Pegasus Who Won't Fly. And then the next book that came out is Tiana again, because Tiana is in the wintertime. And Tiana's book this time is Tiana and the Phoenix Who Refuses to Burn. And so these are all available. They're cute little books. Cute little books. And I actually just realized I set the wrong, it's actually not bad that way. Okay, so those are the books that are available. They're all available on Amazon worldwide, and everyone except for the 2 newest ones are currently available on my website as an ebook. These 2 will be put up in the next little bit. I just have to set aside the time to add them to the site. But yeah, So that's all for the live for today. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an understanding of what we're looking towards in 2026, and how we're supposed to be spending the next few days. And the energy is go again on the 2nd, and I will be back live on Friday. It will be the first live of of 2026. I can't believe it. And then the following week, I will be doing my lives Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:44 p.m. Mountain Time. So whatever time that is for you. You can find me here on Tuesdays. We will be talking about the planetary alignments and according to the true sky and how to work with the energies. And then on Thursdays, we will be talking about basically the Krystic way, living an embodied path. And so you can come and hang out with me on those days. And then on Sundays or Saturdays or Sundays, I might do an occasional live, energy permitting. So wishing you a happy new year for all of you that celebrate New Year's on the Gregorian calendar. For those of you who don't, I hope that you have a wonderful couple of days, and I will see you on the 2nd, because I'm just going to have a quiet couple of days. And yeah, I'm just going to have a quiet couple of days. Love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, guys. Good luck, both of you. Both of you. Good luck. Good luck. Just have the most fun with your game, okay? Love to you guys, and Happy New Year, Justin. Happy New Year, Lori.